Alright, so it has been a little second since I've made a YouTube video. I've just been thinking about what to record, and today what has been on my mind is the thought that we feel as though it takes so much to be in a relationship, and it's a lot of times that I've seen that it's posts about how it's going to take more than just love to make a relationship work, and I really want to debunk that myth because we have to be conscious of the things that we are telling ourselves, because that will literally make, what we bring into our lives. I want y'all to understand that a lot of us has been conditioned to think of love as one dimensional, as this thing that can hurt you, will abuse you, neglect you, and conditionalize you. I don't know if that's a word, but I like it, so it sounds professional. um and love is literally all those things. To consider somebody is to love them. To respect them is to love them. I want We like to take these words and we're like, yeah, it's going to take more than love. Like, it takes communication, it takes consideration, it takes, you know, hard work. It takes all of that, is like the different genres of love. It's the overall thing of love. The like love is a theme, and then you go into the subcategories of, okay, well, how does love show up? Well, love looks like this. Love looks like this. This is what love looks like. So the overall thing is love. When you love somebody and you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you are going to consider their feelings. You are going to consider how your actions could, hurt this person, or what your life, by doing this certain things, how can that affect somebody else's life? You That means you become considerate of another person. So it is not all of these like very harsh things that we have to do. It is loving somebody. And because we grew up in this very fixed type of love, a lot of us was, love came to us and it showed us that when you do this, you do what I say. When you listen to me, I will give you love. I will give you these things. But when you are your own person, when you are being authentic to yourself, when you are, showing up how you want to show up, you may not get that love, or love abandons you, love leaves you. So we like to take on this role of like, okay, well, love is just the feeling. Love is not just a feeling. Love is actions behind that. That is considering somebody. That is showing up for somebody. That is respecting somebody. That is honoring somebody. That is listening and seeing somebody. That is the actions of what love is. Love is also a feeling. You know when you love somebody, but also the body can trick you. The body can make you feel the same emotions because that is something that is similar to what you've had. And I've had this conversation with myself, with the divine, and just with other people, with dealing with somebody, and I'm like, oh, this feels like home. And I saw a post because I was like, yeah, I want something that feels like home. And it was like, you have to be mindful, because what does home feel like to you? What is home to you? And I remember, I'm like, wow, hold up. Home was chaotic. Home was a little conditional. Like, the love was conditional there. Home was a little rocky. It was a little traumatic. For real, for real. And so it's me saying like, oh wow, love doesn't feel like that home. Love feels like this deeper knowing of like God, like God's love, like what it feels like to be home in my body, to be back at homeostasis, like all of these things, like that type of home, not the home that I grew up in. And so it was understanding that, how love feels to me, and how I needed to like rework. I don't know what sound that was that my throat just made. But yeah, it was understanding the different like kind of form of love, and like what love kind of meant, and how I wanted love to show up for me. And it was lately I have been in this like roller coaster of emotions because I am fighting the urge to love how I seen it before, what I'm used to. It is showing up in the ways that I am used to it showing up. I'm used to it showing up in this way of just like toxicity. It's a push and pull energy. It is a energy that leaves you, comes back to you when they're ready. It's a unknowing. It's a feeling of just always that emotional roller coaster. And I'm learning that that type of love is, it's not saying that it isn't love, but it isn't the true fullness of what love is. And a lot of us have not experienced the true fullness of love, and we have already shut down ourselves because we have not experienced the trueness of love. Love is the love that God has already put in you, and because we have not experienced the trueness of love, and we have been taught and told that people love us and they have, hurt us and neglect us and abandoned us, we now put that idea of that is what love is. And until you go deep within your soul and understand it and pull out the love, you will understand what true unconditional love is, because that is what love actually is. Love is unconditional. Love loves you. Love chooses you. And from that, you become the epitome of God's unconditional love. God does not judge you. God does not send things your way to break you down. God is, trying to always build you up. And sometimes it may seem like, God is trying to, it's always like something. But no, God is always trying to send you things to help you grow spiritually. And when you think about that in a partner, you should want somebody who wants to see that growth in you, who still doesn't judge you, who still, teaches you and leads you, but does not do it in a controlling way. And that is just what I am really, really tapping into with myself, is how do I experience love? How am I showing up for myself to show myself this new form of love? And it is considering myself and my feelings and honoring that when my inner child, when she's in a situation and she does not feel good, when she does not feel good and it scares her, and the other person does not do anything to calm that, right? And I calm the situation and I assess the situation. And I see that the situation, like, okay, this is what is happening. This is what teamwork does. This is what partnership and being in communion with somebody, working through love. It is somebody saying, I see that you are wounded and this may be a trigger. How can I show up in a way that would help soothe that? And if you're not having somebody in your life that is kind of showing up that way, then they probably learned another conditionalized way of loving somebody, and they probably will not give you what it is that you may be looking for. So you may need to move on. And that's what I'm learning of. Stop repeating the same, cycles. And if the cycles come around, how can I address them and learn from them before having to go to these deeper, tests and these deeper lessons of things that I learn? And yeah, it's just learning what love is. We don't have to, in order to make a relationship successful, you don't need all of these things. You don't need these other, like, oh, it has to be this. Love isn't enough. Love is enough. And I want us all to remember that love is simply enough to make a relationship work. Stop speaking on the subcategories of love, because that is still love. Considering somebody is still love. Still, making it work. Choosing somebody, to choose somebody every day. That is still love. That is love. That is unconditional love. And that's what makes relationships work. Unconditional love. Unconditional love makes you work on yourself. It makes you want to be a better person for yourself and for others. It makes you want to connect to your spirit, connect to the divine. It makes you want to be your highest version. And that is what real unconditional love is. That is what being the epitome of God's love is. And until you understand that, you will keep breaking love up into other categories and then saying that love is not enough when God is literally love. So that is more than enough, because God is literally love. Love, and not love, but like your heart emits the strongest vibrations. Love is literally enough. It literally is. When your heart stops, you are considered dead. That's because your heart is enough. The love where God dwells here in your heart, like that is enough. The other things are subcategories. They're still love. Those are the actions of love. Love is the feeling and the actions, not just the feelings. And we like to just say that it's just the feelings. It's not just the feelings, it is the actions as well. And these actions of showing up for somebody, showing up for a person you love, listening to them, honoring them, respecting them, those things are still a form of love. So love is enough. And when somebody truly, truly loves you unconditionally, you will know, because they will do all of these action-based things and you will feel it. It is a feeling and an action. When those are in alignment, then you will know that this love is safe and secure. And if that love makes you feel safe and secure, sometimes you have to go past the deeper emotion of feeling scared, because if it is unknown, it will scare you. But it may not feel familiar, and you may try to fight it because it doesn't feel familiar. If you grew up in something chaotic and just toxic, it will scare you and it will make you run away. But trusting that gut instinct, trusting God with that, you know when it's safe and secure, and that person will make sure all the time that they are making you feel safe and secure and honoring that you feel like this. So that's all I have to say right today. Thank you for watching. I promise y'all, I promise. Like, I keep making these promises and I need y'all to to get on me about that. But I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And I have to work out like what I actually, that be my thing, that I get in the flow of things and then I kind of jump off because I don't know exactly what it is that I want to talk about. It's like I have a vision of what I want this to kind of be, but I know that it's just doing and being, and then everything else will eventually fall in line and it will look how I want it to look. And yeah, so when that time comes, that time will come. But thank you for watching. I will see y'all in the next video. And yeah, we're being consistent because that's love. Love is showing up and for yourself, and making those promises that you made to yourself, is honoring them and respecting them and actually committing to these promises that you made for yourself. Because anytime you break a promise to yourself, you're showing yourself that it is okay for others to break promises to you. So it starts with you and it emits out. So yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.